The Storm are now 4-3, but have endured their worst start to a season in years after supplying captain Cameron Smith, fullback Billy Slater and centre Will Chambers to Australia's starting World Cup final team. Smith has had a niggly thigh injury, which impeded his kicking. Slater needed a month of football to regain confidence after a scare. He had re-injured his shoulder in the World Club Challenge match in mid-February. Chambers was playing without thrust and consequently frustrated when suspended for 2 weeks. Loading back rower Felice Kaufusi, another of Melbourne's World Cup players, missed 3 NRL rounds with a hamstring injury and has been poor defensively on his return. Cameron Munster did spend some time in October to November tasting schooners, but a different type of World Cup hangover has befallen the 2-4 Sharks, who play today. They rely heavily on forward Andrew Fifita, who played for Tonga in a World Cup semi-final and limped off with a knee injury last weekend, while the form of the Sharks' Australian forward Wade Graham is well down. He injured a hamstring last weekend but generally looks as if he is playing busted. Loading the Sharks had 2 Australian backline players, Josh Duggan and Valentine Holmes. Holmes played fullback for the Sharks last year and wing for Australia, a position he now plays for his club because Duggan was bought as a fullback. Duggan is a broken field runner, who often doesn't look to pass, meaning Holmes isn't getting the ball he received last season. Holmes doesn't need to channel Great Uncle Sherlock to solve the mystery of his below-par form. The Bulldogs' Aaron Woods and David Klemmer were the starting props in the World Cup final and are partly the reason their club is 2-5. Woods has recently lifted his game but looked as if he had switched from a World Cup player to one preparing for the walking events at the Commonwealth Games, certainly not the shot put. He's not using his bulk to fire a shot, or even break out of a fast stroll. No bite in these dogs. Aaron Woods and David Klemmer have worked hard but failed to give the dogs a spark. Photo, Janie Barrett. Maybe his mate Klemmer had been training for the boxing at the games, but it's the shadow variety, busy, but lacking a strong punch at the line. The Broncos also have 2 Kangaroos forwards and are 3-4. Josh McGuire has been solid and Matt Gillett, until suffering a neck injury, was not playing to his usual standard. The form of Roosters half Cooper Cronk, Australia's starting number 7 in the World Cup final, has been compromised by the demands on him to be game manager at a new club, but co-captain Boyd Cordner has been the worst performer of the Kangaroos forwards. He still has sting in his tackles, but he is not breaking the line. The 1-5 Cowboys only have Michael Morgan from Australia's starting World Cup final team, while Jordan McLean, who was on the Kangaroos bench, has suffered a serious injury. Jason Taumalolo, who represented Tonga, is not providing thrust. Without a foiler momentum, Jonathan Thurston is getting the ball standing still. The 6-1 Dragons have 3 players from the World Cup final, Englishman Gareth Widdop and James Graham, as well as Australia's reserve forward Tyson Frizell. Their form before Friday night's loss to the Warriors is at odds with the other players, where the World Cup has dulled their performance. But Widdop is one of those players blessed with a natural athleticism. He would rather play football than endure a strenuous off-season, meaning the negative impact of the World Cup on him, if at all, was minimal. He has been energized by partnering a half Ben Hunt, who had limited game time for Australia during the World Cup. Graham also thrives on playing, while Frizell has always been a switched-on player who carefully monitors his preparation. All 4 are happy to be on the red and white bus heading to the finals, looking to combat expectation and stifling opposition tactics, with the World Cup long lost from sight in the rearview mirror.